With respect to 15, some of my cell biological colleagues could say to me, well, you're doing a total backtrack, Michael, because you're saying up until 15 it doesn't involve physiology, and suddenly at 15 you're introducing physiology. And I would say, yes, but I'm introducing it in the opposite way. The point of 15 is, aging is not a physiological process, but the physiological attributes of a group of organisms influences the evolution of their aging. And my favorite example of this is the difference between insects and mammals with respect to cancer. In fact, I was very interested in whether or not I could use insects as a system with which to study cancer. So in my lab, we put a lot of time and energy into seeing if we could detect an explosion in rates of cancer in insects with their age as adults. And we completely failed. And the basic reason for this is because the cell cycle is basically shut down in most of the cells of an insect body. What that means is the insect cell, for the adult insect, is so totally programmed to not divide, it doesn't almost ever escape into malignant proliferation. By contrast, mammalian cells at any age are set up so that at least some of them have to divide to sustain our basic physiological functions. What that means is that mammals are at chronic risk of cancer. Then here's the interesting point. Children get cancer, but they do so very rarely. And then as you get older and older, you have a higher and higher incidence of cancer up until the 90s, when suddenly that stops happening, which is something we'll talk about later. So what's happened here is, because the basic physiology of mammalian function, for example, our adaptive immune system, but our gut lining and so on, all of that requires lots and lots of cell proliferation. That balances many of our cells on a knife edge, where they can fall off the other side of the knife edge into a state of inappropriate proliferation, giving rise to tumors, and then still farther off beam, off program, as it were, you then get malignant cancers. One of our major age-associated disorders. We're stuck with that because of the specifics of our physiology. So our physiology conditions the specific patterns of aging in each different distinct animal group. Mammals, we're stuck with cancer. Insects, not so much cancer. Interestingly, mammals have hearts. Insects have hearts. Aging mammals get cardiovascular disease. Aging insects get cardiovascular disease. So the physiological details matter, but not in the way that most people who study aging think they do.